final countdown to the biggest boxing event in New Zealand history is on. Two fighters putting the finishing touches on what's been months of intense training and strategizing. The journey to the ring has held many twists and turns. But now, after literally years in the making, two boxers from diverse backgrounds are on a high-stakes collision course in what's been billed as the fight of the century.
What I love doing, and that is beating the guys up, punishing them, and hurting them.
I said the only way you're going to beat me is by knocking me out. If it goes the distance, it's my fight.
This fight has divided the country's loyalties, so both men are not only trying to prove to themselves, but also to prove to a nation that they are a true world-class heavyweight contender.
He's an athletic freak. He's born with an immense amount of power.
I can't recall any time that I've ever actually seen David hurt.
You have to be in great shape to fight Shane.
As one-on-one, and it's your will against the other man.
He's never been down in a fight.
Give it your all, or don't worry about it. Don't worry about doing it otherwise.
No excuses, no second chances, nowhere to hide. This is Tua Camoren. It's strictly business.
We want you to witness the fight of the century. Tua Camoren live on Scott TV. We want you to come through and say stand up. Support your fighter back your man, get them hands. Tua Camoren. Personal business.
No sporting event in recent history has divided the nation to such an extent as the Woodstock fight of the century.
I'm going to support David Tua. Yeah, I reckon he's going to win.
I think Shane Camoren will win.
I think Cameron's, a bit quicker and a bit younger and a longer reach.
David Tua. I'll back him all along, and he's got the experience, he's proven it.
David Tua has already scaled the dizzying heights of the heavyweight division, culminating in a shot at the title against Lennox Lewis in 2000.
To take nothing away from Lennox, he's a great champion. But for me as a fighter and as a person, more importantly, if I go out and perform to the very, very best and know that I've given everything and get beaten not because the other man was better than me, I can accept that. But if I lose because I didn't give it my best, it's hard for me to accept. I'm a lot hungrier now than then, you know. I believe I wasn't ready for it.
Since that emphatic loss, Tua's career has virtually ground to a halt, due mainly to his well-publicized fallout and court case against former manager Kevin Barry. In the last 9 years, Tua has only fought 14 times, most recently back in 2007.
He's back, and they better look out for that left hook.
Our past makes us who we are today, you know, for better, for worse. I love to believe and think it's maybe a better person. But more importantly, one fight at a time. That's the obvious, is to be blessed with another opportunity to fight for the world title and hopefully winning it. But on realistic terms, one fight at a time. So for me, where I'm at right now, this is the only fight that matters.
Shane Camoren burst onto the professional scene back in 2002, with his only loss to date coming in his 20th fight against American-based Nigerian Friday Ahonanyo. The images of a bloodied Camoren still remain vivid in the minds of New Zealand fight fans. The loss and the resulting corrective surgery to lessen future bleeding didn't halt Cameron's progress, as he got his record back on track by dispatching visiting American boxers. His last fight with David Tua, a surprise onlooker, resulted in another win and a broken right hand, which only delayed the inevitable.
The fans want him to go. The referee's hanging in there. The referee's got the ball.
On October 3, New Zealand's two premier heavyweights will finally step into the ring at Mystery Creek in Hamilton.
I'm the fight.
I'll be there, don't you worry.
I'm ready for it.
You better be ready, man.
I'm born ready.
Boy, you sound a professional, man. How long you been out of the ring for?
Don't make any difference. Like I said, I wasn't beaten up like you.
Oh, I seen the Lennox Lewis fights, man. You took a hiding.
Took a hiding, but hey, I'm still here today.
Yeah, and that was, that was the end of your career. I reckon at the end of that fight, that was the end of your career.
It's going to be a spectacle, and these guys are going to hit the shit out of each other, and that's what we want to see. Well, I'll tell you what's going to happen. It's going to be lights out for David Tua. That's what's going to happen.
I can't wait to get in the ring and beat him up.
He's not going to outbox me. The only way he's going to beat me is knock me out. If he goes the distance, is my victory.
You'd be surprised.
I will be.
We called Tua out 3 years ago, and I actually had 2 meetings with Rabina Tua, discuss putting the fight on. They showed interest in it because obviously it was financially a very good fight. And we got to the stage of talking, going through P&Ls and having some very serious discussions, and you know, and then they dropped out of it. I never heard anything back from them.
I suppose he's probably a little bit shocked because not many people call him out. There's only been 2 people call him out, Chris Ariola and me. And he didn't take Chris Ariola, and he didn't want me for a while, and then all of a sudden, in the paper he wants to fight.
Tua actually approached us for the fight from through Duco events. I don't know why he whinges about us calling him out, because he actually came back to us and asked us for the fight.
You know, we called him out for maybe 2 years, just sort of 2 years, and then, but at that point I needed him more than he needed me, and that was the fact why, I presume, why he didn't take the fight.
You know, Shane's of a caliber now, and he needs to fight guys of Tua's caliber, and so you know, we called the fight, so we'll take the fight. You know, Shane's not going to run from him; he's going to stick to his word until he wanted to fight. So yeah, we're taking it. It's on.
Initially, I called him out, you know, so I'm like, oh, yeah, well, you know, I called him out for so long, I'm not going to turn him down. This is a great opportunity for him. Yeah, definitely a great opportunity for me as well.
He's been calling me out for quite some time, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. So it's a great fight for this country to be excited about. You know, I don't ever believe there was this much attention about, you know, any of our boxing guys from this side of the world, let alone here in New Zealand. So it's good for the sport, and it's good for me.
He looks at Shane. Shane's world ranked. Probably in his mind, he thinks he can beat him. So if he beats Shane, he picks up those rankings. It means he doesn't have to go to the States and fight 4 or 5 fights. And so that's why it's happening. None of this rubbish about you call me out, this, that, and I mean, please.
Timing is everything. I believe the time is right to take this fight. And, you know, there was a great hit on the radio, I think by a group called Pussycat, Baby Doll. The greatest hit was, be careful what you wish for, because you might just get it.
While only a 20-minute drive separates the 2 training camps, they are a world apart. While the mountain warrior makes his home at Boxing Alley in the affluent inner-city suburb of Parnell, the Tuamanator trains in an anonymous building in Onehunga. Inside both gyms, 2 trainers are busy tweaking both boxers' skills and strategy. They too come from completely different backgrounds and cultures. In Cameron's corner is a quiet, religious Tongan who first set eyes on Shane as an amateur.
I didn't see him for ages until I went out one night and watched him fight Roger Azarende. And boy, you know, I've never seen anybody with bigger heart, you know, than Shane. You know, and I've seen a lot of tough guys.
He brings to me his style, his unique style. I feel it's a unique style. You know, I've trained with a lot of trainers. You know, even when I started in England, you know, and you know, he's got something different. It's just something special, I believe. But it works for me. It may not work for every fighter, but his style works for me, man. I think that's going to be the key for me moving forward.
While Lolo is best known for having trained numerous world and international kickboxing champions, he also has a vast experience in the sweet science.
I grew up in a boxing family anyway, and you know, before I was doing martial art, I was doing boxing when we were young. A lot of people think that kickboxing and boxing is, you know, it's not much different, but they're very different. You know, you have different range, you have different defensive pattern, you know. But you know, before I worked with Shane, I already coached a couple of guys who won, you know, gold medal at Oceania Games in amateur, and which, you know, but you know, of course, in 20 years' time, I'm always going to be dubbed as the kickboxing coach. You know, I came in there to help Shane, but I was already a national coach. I already been to the Olympic Games and Commonwealth Games as a boxing coach, but nobody knows that because I don't, you know, get out there and start talking about people and tell them how much I know about boxing.
We want you to witness the fight of the century.